welcome back to Eat Pretty. This is Lavinia, and today we'll be working with kale, eggplant, peppers, some seasonings, maybe some garlic, I hope. So let's get started. I don't think I'm gonna work with the cilantro. I know you see the cilantro here, but we were working with it earlier, so I'm gonna do something a little different. Now, I already minced off my kale, so I'm gonna pull it apart like this, because I don't eat stalks. I don't know if anybody else has ever, pulled greens, but I don't eat stalks. And so what I do with the stalks, because they're hard and they won't cook down in the way that you need them to cook in the frying pan, like you be trying to cook them for 400 years, is I put them in a bag with all of my food scraps. Now, food scraps meaning vegetables, not really meats, because they easily biodegradable. I started composting a couple of years ago, like last year, a couple of years ago. So I have two different size compost bins, but I'm using this for show purposes. I have a little one that I used to keep in the kitchen, and it's a big one outside. You can take the scraps, dump it in the compost bin, turn them over, and then they will become fertilizer. I grow herbs around my house. Okay. One, I'm trying to save the bees. Two, it smells good. Three, I can use it. So, triple purpose. I was talking to some other sisters, and I was talking to folks from the cooperative extension and some master farmers, and all of them agree that composting is probably the best and simplest thing you can do to save the planet and feed yourself at the same time. So definitely, and it's not hard. Trust me, food breaks down on its own. Save it from going to the landfill. Anyway, yeah. So when I was little, I used to pick greens. I'm country girl. I'm not from North Carolina. I am from a small town called Tappahannock, Virginia. Chris Brown's hometown, for those of y'all that need to understand where that is, but he ain't really from there. I'm gonna tell y'all that right now. Anybody from the area can tell you he from Barry, but that's a whole nother story. We had, when I was growing up, 5 traffic lights, 1 McDonald's, 1 Burger King, and that was late, really, really late in life that we had that. So my grandmother had friends who would bring her things. We had several community gardens, like one on this side, one on that side, one over there. So we were always growing things and eating things, and that's how we lived. So I have shelled many a butter bean, snapped many a string bean, doing what I'm doing now, like making sure that you don't eat the stalks out of some greens because they won't cook down right. I've done it. But I didn't start getting back into this kind of stuff until I decided to be more vegan or more vegetarian. Like, it wasn't a thing. I didn't think about eating the way that I grew up until I changed my mind about what I was eating and how I was buying food. And so the things you learn as children, for me, became second nature. Like, I didn't know how to do this. I don't know what y'all talking about. So this makes me feel really good that I'm literally honoring my ancestors and honoring who I am, but also that I'm doing something good for my body. I prefer collard greens, to be honest. I like collard greens. I like mustard greens. I like all kinds of greens. Kale, you can eat it raw. I'm not big on that. I want some heat to it. I want to have, so it can have some flavor. And the thing about all greens, no matter what kind, kale, collard, mustard, they look like a whole lot until you cook them. So this looks like an amazing amount of kale. It is not. It's probably enough for 2 people. Really, it's probably enough for 2 whole people. Okay, on a good day. But this is it. All you gotta do is do the kale, chop that, and then we're gonna chop up this pepper real fast. And I can't remember. I think this is a male. Yes, they're male. There's different kinds of peppers. I'm positive this is a male. The female has the 4 bumps. So, I'm cutting up a dude. Sorry. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, horrible humor. Horrible, horrible humor. I really shouldn't. I was on a Facebook Messenger last night. We were making all kinds of jokes like that. So you cut up the pepper to your taste. I don't know how much people like peppers. This is not a steak and cheese, a Philly cheesesteak, excuse me. So, you know, it's not gonna taste like that. So if you don't like a lot of peppers, then don't put a lot of peppers in there. The point is to get your greens in there and give the kale some extra flavor, because it needs help some days. Any kind of oil will do. I think for this one, I'm gonna use this sunflower and extra virgin olive oil. Yeah, it's brand new. Watch me struggle. I like olive oil because it's light. We're not gonna use a whole lot of oil because it's just to be sauteed. It's not to be, we're not like frying it. I don't fry in the first place. Just so y'all know, y'all might take my black card, but I don't fry chicken. I can't fry chicken. I go to my girl house to fry if I want it. My kids even know, Mommy, don't do that. I learned to like saute and use less oil. That whole deep frying thing don't work for me. So I'm gonna stick with what I know. I'm gonna really stick with what I know. So I'm gonna let this get hot. Should take about a minute. Let me grab this minced garlic somewhere in my refrigerator. This actually came from Walmart. It's a great thing to have. It's just a little bit of minced garlic, especially if you don't want to waste buying whole cloves of garlic. Because I used to buy whole cloves of garlic, for real. Like it was a thing I did. And then they start sprouting because I wasn't using them. So it's like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna buy whole cloves of garlic. I need onion powder. So I decided to buy this, which it may be a little more expensive. It's pepper, onion powder. It may be a little more expensive to buy this. I think this was like $4 or $5, but it will last you a long, long time, and you don't have to use a whole lot of it. Let me grab a spoon. And plus, it stays in the refrigerator for a good while. So, I'm just gonna put like a teaspoonful of garlic in the pan so that'll cook itself. So the flavor won't be so overpowering. That's what you don't want. You don't want the flavor to be like, and then you go talk to somebody and be like, yeah, you had garlic today. Nah, Jack. You don't want that. You don't want that because garlic takes a long time to get through your system. So you really don't want somebody to be like, yeah, man, you had all that garlic today. No, sir. So definitely work to saute your garlic before you put your other spices in there or your other food in there, because it'll still taste garlicky, it just won't kick you in the teeth. And I know I should really be using like all of these other utensils, but again, I'm country and I learned to cook a certain kind of way. So I use what I have, and I hope folks understand that there's no judgment, there's no right or wrong way to do that. If you don't know, or if you're not comfortable. That's just kale. oil and peppers. It will start to cook down shortly. You really don't have to do a whole lot to it for it to cook, which is kind of nice. With this pan though, unlike my other frying pan, I kind of have to watch my oil levels just because of the pan. But I've been working with this pan a long time, so we know how that goes. I'm gonna throw onion powder in it, cause yeah, not a whole lot. Then I'm gonna throw some pepper in it. And then it's just gonna cook. Again, the nice thing about this is that it's usually stuff that I already have, or stuff that I can quickly Google a recipe for to make work. I'm not going to be spending 14 years in the kitchen. That's just not what's happening to me. I enjoy cooking, but I don't like to spend a whole lot of time like cooking all day long. That's not it. So yeah. So that's going to cook. I may add a little more oil. Yeah. Add a little more oil, just because, again, I told y'all I know this pan. So it's not because I want it to be oily. I just know this pan. There we go. And I hope y'all notice that I use very little salt in my cooking. That's intentional. Not because of high blood pressure either. Not because we run in with the high blood pressure. I use very little salt because food is naturally salty. And I found that out from an elder of mine, that food is naturally salty, so that when you begin to cook without it, you actually taste the salt in the food, and then you can adjust accordingly. My youngest one likes to add seasoning salt to everything she eats. And I'm like, girl, if you don't taste this food, now it needs seasoning though. No, it does not. Everything does not need Lowry's, y'all. And I'm at the age where, like I've said before, I want to live to be 140. Salt ain't gonna get me there. Not excessive salt. Now I understand if you have some deficiencies in your life, the doctor told you need to eat some more salt, whatever. That's great. That ain't me. So yeah, it's getting brown on the edges. Just cook down. And I use onion powder because I don't have fresh onions. If I had fresh onions, then I would have added some fresh onions. But you gotta use what you got, right? And this is a great side if you're going to like have something else, or if you just feel like this is all you want to eat in the middle of the day. That'll work too. One thing I tend to do, I gotta read the lid. Yeah. One thing I tend to do when I'm cooking, is to add a little water. y'all saw that. Y'all saw what the steam did. The other reason is cleaning. Again, you have to know your pots and your pans to know how it cleans and what works. And I don't like scrubbing nobody's pans. I'm sorry. That's not my joy. I don't get joy out of scrubbing pans. So as my food is cooking towards the end, especially in this pan, I add a little water. And that way the water can steam up whatever's on the bottom of the pan and I ain't got to scrub it. Right! See, I got to be smart about that, and the food tastes good. So it works out. And then I can say, oh, look what I did. And then when I go take the pan, be like, yep, let me just pull that on off, let it cool off, pour it all off, and I can just hit it with a wash rag. I'm good. I'm good. So yeah.
So this is what the sauteed kale looks like. Remember that I put some peppers and some garlic. And I think that was about it. And we're gonna see. I'm so glad I picked that oil. It gave it a nice light flavor. Yeah. And if you want to use seasoned salt, feel free. I don't feel like it needs it. But I'm glad that I used that oil, because that oil really made it. And it's not too garlicky. Until next time, this is Eat Pretty. I'm gonna keep on eating.